Tommy Flanagan has Epstein receipts. But you remember Tommy Flanagan? Again, I'm an old Saturday Night Live fan. John Lovitz had a character on Saturday Night Live. He was Tommy Flanagan, the pathological liar. And he would make something up and he'd be like, yeah, that's the ticket. And that's what we're watching right now. We're watching, I'm going to say, in my opinion, pathological liars. So what I'm going to do today is I shuffled a deck. I shuffled a deck of stories and points, and we're going to do an old school Fox News. We report, you decide. Where should we start? You know what? We'll start with this here. We're gonna go through some points here. Point number one: why were Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell arrested and charged with operating an enormous sex trafficking ring that involved thousands of clients, if no such clients ever existed? We're supposed to believe now that all of these powerful people that went to Epstein Island were just there to ride the jet ski? Right. Sure. Yeah. That's the ticket. Oh, yeah. Before I go on, did you ever actually even take a look at Epstein Island there? Why in the world do they have a temple? Right. A temple, but it's not a temple. And again, this is on a secluded island. Epstein owned the whole thing. Why did they soundproof that temple? Again, I'm bringing you the receipts. You don't have to believe me. Look it up yourself. Okay. Pam Bondi, U.S. Attorney General, told Fox News in February that Epstein's client list was sitting on my desk right now to review. Well, it didn't exist. Why would she say that? What was in the thousands of documents related to the Epstein case that were discovered in February? Remember, they discovered thousands of documents. Attorney General Pam Bondi has been made aware of thousands of documents related to the investigation into Epstein that were previously not disclosed to her office. And she got very upset with the FBI about that. And they're gone. What happened there? Pam Bondi, and I quote, said that the Epstein flight logs would, quote, make you sick. What did she mean by that? Back in May, Pam Bondi said that there were tens of thousands of videos related to the Epstein investigation. What was in those videos? Tens of thousands of videos. The FBI reviewing tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. Yep. Other than Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, why hasn't anyone else that was involved in the sex trafficking operation ever been arrested? The memo that, again, in that special, they find that convenient, huh? How the Trump administration basically dropped the case on a Sunday evening, 4th of July weekend, that there will not be any further disclosure in this case. It's over, according to the Trump administration. Yeah, no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. Uh-huh. He had a picture of Bill Clinton wearing a blue dress, okay? Had a painting made wearing a blue dress, wearing high heels. He had a picture of George W. Bush playing on the floor of the Oval Office with a paper airplane and Jenga blocks. Yeah. The memo also said that there's no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. So basically, the men that were having sex with underage girls, they're not going to be brought to justice. Let's go to again. Magically, there's a video. Again, we were told, oh my gosh, there's no video. The cameras were down. That night. And you know what I noticed as well? If you take a look at the picture that the Justice Department released with the crime tape cross on the door back when Epstein killed himself. Well, the door in the video that they just released doesn't have a window, but the door with the crime tape on it does have a window. So the jail that Epstein was in, Epstein was supposed to have a cellmate, and that a guard was supposed to check in on him every 30 minutes. The night Epstein died, his cellmate was transferred and not replaced, and he was not checked on as required. 2 guards fell asleep at their desks and later falsified their records. And again, we were told that the cameras in front of his cell malfunctioned, while another bunch of footage was unusable. The video that they released, by the way, it's missing a full minute. It's missing a full minute. It cuts off at 11:59, and the video magically restarts at 12. Yeah. Elon Musk had a lot of access to government computer systems when he was there. Did he happen to learn something about the Epstein investigation? I don't know. More on that a little bit. Again, like I said, I knew that nobody was going to ever come to any justice with this. Oh, this is interesting too. Okay, and more receipts here. The former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak met with Epstein 36 times between 2013 and 2017. This was after Epstein had been convicted of abusing a minor. Now, Barak was in the IDF for 35 years. He was also a member of the elite, the Sayeret Matkal unit, which is a special forces group known for intelligence gathering and covert operations. Oh, yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell, her father, Robert Maxwell, was a Mossad agent. Don't believe me? Look it up. These are the receipts. Oh, okay. Let's look at some other things here. Let's go to J.P. Morgan, shall we? Yeah, J.P. Morgan Chase processed well over $1 billion for Jeffrey Epstein's operation over 16 years. So basically, J.P. Morgan Chase was the full-service bank for Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking. I wonder if they'll put that in their latest quarterly report. They settled 2 lawsuits relating to Jeffrey Epstein for a total of $290 million. One settlement for $75 million was with the U.S. Virgin Islands, which accused the banks of enabling Epstein's sex trafficking operation. The other settlement, also totaling $290 million, was a group of Epstein's victims These settlements followed allegations that JP Morgan ignored red flags and continued to provide banking service to Epstein despite knowing about his activities. Wow. A lot of money there. A lot in girls. And again, who were the people that were going there? The Bill Clintons, the Bill Gates, the Prince Andrews of the world. And of course, nothing to see here. You're getting some blowback from MAGA circles. Not much, though. General Mike Flynn, who has been a big-time Trump supporter, put this out. I have a lot of respect for anyone who stands up to serve our nation, but when one does, you need to remember it is the American people you work for. This Epstein affair is not going away. And an early lesson for everyone regarding this affair: elites don't give a beep about children, you or anyone for that matter. There are two standards of justice in our country, one for the elites. I include the uniparty in this club, and another standard for everyone else. Today was another brutal and stark example of the two different standards we appear to adhere to in the United States. This has to change, and quickly. And he sent that off to Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Again, that's General Michael Flynn. That's General Michael Flynn putting that out. Now, let's talk about actual really good journalists that have done a great job going after the deep state. I'm talking the Glenn Greenwalds. I'm talking the Michael Schellenbergers, Matt Taibbi's. Schellenberger just put out a piece, and it's entitled, "This is a Total Effing Disaster." And that's a quote from a high-level U.S. intelligence service. And Michael basically goes off on a rant in this piece, saying, for the past decade, the media is saying that anyone who is saying that there's a deep state and all this stuff, it's right-wing conspiracy theory. And he talks about all the work that they have done. And basically helping Donald Trump, and how the CIA and the FBI went after his campaign and all of the interference that is involved. He says, but now the Trump administration is attempting to sweep the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking scandal under the rug, with the Justice Department claiming there's no client list and that no further disclosure is warranted, even though, again, Attorney General Pam Bondi explicitly stated that there were tens of thousands of videos, which means the ability to identify the individuals involved in sex with minors, and that anyone in the Epstein files who tries to keep their name private has no legal basis to do so. On April 28th, 2025, in a candid, off-the-record exchange, this is Pam Bondi, caught on video, Bondi told a bystander, there are tens of thousands of videos, and it's all with little kids. She later reiterated on May 7th that these were videos of Epstein with children or child porn. Bondi's comments directly contradict the official stance of the administration, which has dismissed calls for a client list and slowed efforts to release the full contents of the Epstein files, despite Trump's campaign promises to dismantle the deep state and hold elites accountable. His administration now appears to be protecting the same intelligence and law enforcement networks it once condemned. Strong evidence suggests that Epstein was part of a sex blackmail operation tied to intelligence agencies. Visitor logs show that William Burns, who served as CIA director under Bush, visited Epstein's New York townhouse multiple times. The Wall Street Journal reported those visits in 2023 based on Epstein's private calendar. In 2017, Alex Acosta, the Justice Department official who gave Epstein his slap on the wrist 2008 plea deal. And if, I covered this back then. This was out of the Miami Herald, the story that was done on this. It made my stomach turn. This monster got a slap on the wrist. He told Trump transition officials that he was told to back off. Back off, Epstein, because he belonged to intelligence. The Justice Department later admitted that all 11 months of Acosta's emails from that period had, poof, disappeared. Obviously, Michael Schellenberger is besides himself. Writes failure to follow through seriously undermines Trump's explicit commitments to reform and shine a light on the deep state. This is not just about Epstein. The Trump administration has not been particularly transparent about much else. The CIA, to its credit, released an internal evaluation last week admitting it had erred in the 2017 intelligence community assessment by claiming that Russia aspired to help elect Trump. But it stood by the overall assessment, sealing the agency's reluctance to admit fault. And again, I can go on and on. Schellenberger goes after, a long piece on this. Is he wrong? Is he wrong? Donald Trump yesterday put this absolutely, it's embarrassing, tweet out. The FBI, under the direction of Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bonino, is back to the basics, locking up criminals and cleaning up America's streets. We have the greatest law enforcement professionals in the world, but politics and corrupt leadership often prevented them from doing their job. That is no longer the case, and now they've been unleashed to doing their jobs, and they are doing just that. Keep it up. Make America safe. Again. Same day. Man, it's funny. Trump went hard. They went hard after all of those college kids protesting Israel, right? I wish they went as hard as people that abuse children. Just throwing that out there. Musk. Wasn't that long ago when, they got Trump and Musk got into their big tiff, and Musk accused Trump of being on the Epstein files. That pissed Trump off, right? That pissed him off. That Trump loves to sue. He wanted to sue, loves to sue people. How do you sue? Can't really sue. Again, I'm throwing this out here. How do you sue? If there's some truth to your involvement with Epstein, I'm saying you really can't, right? But I'm throwing this out here. I'm thinking out loud. Don't get upset with me. He loves to sue. But you can't prove it isn't true if you cannot produce the files. Now, you don't want to be faced with a barrage of various different accusations. Well, the only way to avoid the accusations is to eliminate the very existence of the files, deny and then destroyed. This is what I'm seeing right now in MAGA influencer universe. These are the people that are paid to say nothing but wonderful things about Trump and make fun of anybody who disagrees with him. This is basically the line they're taking right now across the board. Honestly, I'm just sick of talking about the Epstein list, obsessing over it for almost a decade now, hasn't done a single thing to advance our agenda or help our country. And then you get similar messages with other influencers. I'm so sick of hearing about blanking Epstein. I'm only going to say this about it and I'm done. I'm literally going to mute the word Epstein so I don't see any more about it. Yep. Sweep, sweep, sweep. If you're not thoroughly disgusted, if you don't have a feeling of nausea and want to throw up in your mouth, I don't get it. These are kids, children. Watchdog on wallstreet.com.